the other day I was gonna tell you I was getting my oil changed, and don't judge me, I don't change my own oil. But I was getting my oil changed. The guy asked me about the mileage. It got me to thinking, last time we were talking, you had mentioned you put 30,000 miles on your car. I realized I'd only put 6 in the past year, but that's 30,000 miles in 1 year?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah, I'm using it for work, and I did a track day, and hang on just a second, that's James.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, what's up, man?
Dude, hey, I have got an idea.
Okay.
You and I are going to meet up in Boulder.
Boulder.
And we're going to do, like, we're going to go, and it's going to be like 4 or 5 days, non-stop driving. The question is, are you in?
I am absolutely in.
Let's do it. And let's get the other guys involved, and we'll do like a massive convoy. It's going to be so cool.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Rock and roll.
All right, talk
mate.
to you later. Bye.
Sorry about that. He was just talking about going to the Rockies in May.
Oh, wow. That's a big trip, man.
Yeah, wow. There's a lot of miles on that one, right?
I would say.
That's a big part of it. I did the Tail of the Dragon 3 times last year, and that's about an 8-hour drive to get there and back. Plus, you're driving there to drive there. And hang on a minute. Sorry, Sam texting me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep interrupting. Where was I? What was I saying?
No, man, I get it. Lots of miles.
Yeah.
Motors and Meats here. Thanks again for checking out another video. If you guys are into things about Porsches, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like and the subscribe. And yes, I have done over 30,000 miles in 1 year's time in this car. So what is the car? Let's talk about that first. It's a 2009 model Porsche 911 Carrera S. That means it's a 997.2, the first year with the 9A1 engine, first year to get rid of the intermediate shaft. This car has a PDK transmission, and it has Sport Chrono, which means I have launch control, which is super cool. It's in Basalt Black, and it has sand beige interior. The car is a little bit more than stock. I've done a few things with it, like lowering it on Eibach lowering springs. I've put 15mm spacers all the way around the car. I've powder coated the wheels in a bronze color, Highland bronze, and I swapped out my steering wheel for one with these cool paddles, got rid of the silly button shifters. And if you want to see any of those videos, I'll have links down in the description to all of those. You guys really seem to like the milestone videos about the car. I did a 3,000 mile ownership review video. I did a 10,000 mile ownership review video. And that was months ago though, because as the video states, I did 30,000 miles in 1 year. I've had the car almost a year and a half, and now I'm up to 152,000 miles. It was at 112 when I bought it. So yes, I've done 40,000 miles in a year and a half. Like a lot of you guys, I'm part of some of the Facebook groups that talk about the car, talk about the 997 in general, the 997.2 in general, and the high mileage 996s and 997s. That group's really cool, and it's really neat to see that I'm not the only one out driving the wheels off this car. There was a recent post that I commented on, and I think I was only like the 3rd or 4th highest mileage 997.2 in the group. One of the things that comes up the most often when we're talking about putting a lot of miles on one of these cars is how do you find the time to put in the seat time? Well, I do use the car for work, and I do travel most of the Southeast for work. Whenever I get where I'm going, there's often somewhere cool that I could have gone and driven if I wasn't in this car, and then I get mad that I'm not in this car, so I just drive the car. It's a Porsche. They're built really solidly, so it's not that big a deal. There are some extra expenses, and we'll dive into that in a minute. In addition to using the car for work, I do a lot of road trips. I've been to the Tail of the Dragon 3 times since I've had this car, and that's about an 8-hour drive to get there. To me, that's not a lot of time invested to be able to have such an amazing driving opportunity as what the Smoky Mountains provides. One thing that you have to consider when you're going to daily drive a car like this is the service that it takes. It does, like any car, need an oil change, it needs tires, But with a car like this where you can't rotate the tires, the tire cost is going to be a lot more than what you would think about with a Toyota Corolla. The oil changes are not going to be any more, but maybe you spend more on the oil. Porsches do take quite a lot of oil. I think this one takes about 8 quarts. And the tires are not cheap either. And you only get about 30,000 miles if you're lucky out of them. The fronts, sure, 30,000 miles is doable, but the rears, with all of that weight and all of that traction back there, it's really more like 12 to 15,000. That's on my to-do list before I go to meet James in the Rockies. The inside edges of my front tires are pretty well spent. The oil changes cost about $125 each time in parts, and with 30,000 miles in a year, that means I've done it 6 times at 5,000 mile intervals. And really, the only issue that I had with the car since having it was that the starter went out on me about, I don't know, 4 months into having the car maybe, and I did a video on that one as well. Check the link in the description for that if you need to know how to change your starter on a 997.2. So what's it like using it every day? Well, you really need to know where the potholes are. As I mentioned, I lowered the car, but I also put on an EMC2 Designs kit around the car. That means I've got 991 side skirts, 991 front spoiler, and I've got splitters on the front and the rear, both from EMC2 Designs as well. Those things don't actually lower the car. They only extend out the points where the low point is. So I have to be careful whenever I'm going across points where the pavement comes together like that I go across at an angle and don't scrape the front end. But aside from that, the seats are extremely comfortable, and for 2 people, there's no better touring car to have. But for around town, I do take the boys to school in the mornings whenever I'm home, so that means my little guy gets to ride in the back, and if he was any bigger, he'd probably be complaining about it, and he gets bigger every day, so, you know, the time's coming where he's not going to enjoy riding back there. The big brother, Sawyer, he has his own wheels now. He's got his 944. We've got a few videos done on it so far, and we finally got it back up and running if you've been following the saga on that after the broken timing belt. Some of the high points of getting to use a car like this every day is it's, again, extremely reliable. German engineering, everything works like it should. Everything lasts like you would expect it to. It's a really exciting place to be. Just driving it down this road here as I'm cruising around town means that I get to blip the paddles if I want to at any time. I get to put my foot down and make some fun noises. Oh yeah, that's awesome. And right there along those lines, this car is faster than 95+% of the cars that you're going to encounter on the road. I'm not saying it's faster than 95% of the cars in the world, just the ones that you're going to encounter, like that Ford piece of crap, whatever that was, or this Toyota boring machine in front of me. As far as things that need to be taken care of with the car, other maintenance items, other things that I'm going to do to the car, first up is an oil change. I'm due for one of those. Definitely need that done before the trip to the Rockies with James. I need to change the tires out, as I mentioned. I also need to change out the top hats of my suspension. I've got those ordered, and whenever I did my lowering springs, I really should have had those on hand at the time. I did not, so I'm just going to do that now. It just means I get to take everything apart on the suspension and put it back together again. It would have been smart to do that all at once, yes, but am I smart? Maybe, maybe not. That's up for debate. Some other things that I need to do, I need to change out my brake pads. Those have been squealing a little bit after the track day and the 40,000 miles now that I put on the car. I suppose I'm due for some. And speaking of squealing, my alternator belt has been squealing a bit, so I've got new brakes already at the house. I've got a new belt, and as I mentioned, I've got the top hats ordered. At some point in the not too distant future, I'm going to need to change out my plugs and coil packs, and I also am going to need to do a PDK service. I've been talking about that since I had the car. The more I look into it, the more I start to think I might actually let the dealership do that. I don't know. You guys put in the comments what you think. If you've done it before, I would love to hear your feedback. My biggest holdup, I think, is that I don't have a computer currently that I can use to put the transmission into service mode or fill mode. Fill mode is the key thing. I know the computer that I have allows me to do a lot, but it doesn't have the fill mode option unless I'm mistaken. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it worth it? From my research, it looks like it's only a couple $100 more to have a dealership do it. With the trip to the Rockies coming up, I'd love for you guys to join us there if you're in that part of the world or want to make an epic journey out of it. Go to autoamateur.com and look for Spring Tour. James has all of the details there. And in addition to the trip to the Rockies, if you're not interested in making a trip out across the country, or you're not from that part of the country, maybe you're from the east side of the United States, we do have another trip to the Tail of the Dragon. I know you guessed it. I know you knew it. There's no surprise there. But we're looking at doing that late in the summer, and more details to come, both on the Instagram, again, Motors and Meats 88, the Facebook page, and also on autoamateur.com. And to wrap things up here, I appreciate you guys watching, liking, and subscribing. All of those things help the channel to grow, and it is my goal this year to double my subscribership. I'm only about 1,700 subscribers right now, not a huge channel, but I feel like there's some potential there. I feel like that you guys are interested in things about the 997, about the 944, and about Porsches in general. So if you are, hit the button. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.